What's up with birds? I want to talk about birds generally, and ravens more specifically. But before I get into that, I'm going to jump back to a non-avian reptile that I was talking about previously, the serpent. So what I'm trying to do here in general is establish a spiritual ecology, looking back into early hominid thought and proto-consciousness, and trying to look at how humans established conscious thought as we know it. My concept is that this didn't arise from nowhere, obviously. It was through observations of the behavioral patterns of animals that largely led to these archetypes, these totems, which are almost like these storage devices, which allowed people to transmit ideas and memories and symbols and identities, more importantly. Whereas a symbol points towards something, an idea, an action, a totem is a collection of thoughts. It's an abstraction. Going back to the serpent represents transformation within an individual. It's not necessarily metaphysical. It's highly tied to shamanism and primitive mythologies and religion and spirituality. Beforehand, when I was talking about the patterns of reality, for example, you have early people that are experiencing psychedelic events in which they're seeing geometric patterns. These are known scientifically as entropic patterns. People are looking within themselves in a way, and they are seeing snakes geometrically throughout the patterns of reality. And to clarify, I don't mean that people are necessarily looking at the fabric of reality. What I'm saying is that, for all intents and purposes, at their perceptual level, they believe they are seeing the patterns of reality. Whether that be through a psychedelic experience in which they are seeing geometric patterns, and as discussed before, any line within a pattern can be interpreted as a snake, or if they're looking at the topographical reality of nature and they're seeing how valleys form, how rivers are in a serpentine pattern. And then, once again in nature, they're seeing this branching effect as well that could be interpreted as serpentine. So there's a reason why across cultures you have so many geometric symbols that are associated with shamanism. So the snake represents this knowledge that is beneath everything. It is the substrate of existence. It's very horizontal. Birds, on the other hand, represent something vertical. It represents knowledge above everything. It is thought. It is memory. It is the observer throughout time. Why do birds fall into this role? People see something of themselves in birds because there's not many animals that are bipedal besides humans and birds. Like humans, birds can sing, and some can even talk. They are liminal creatures. They are able to transition between the ground and the sky. They disappear beyond the horizon, and they reappear. They migrate. They disappear for long periods of time, and then they come back. Or in the case of the raven, they persist. Birds are unique, besides arthropods and bats, in their capability of flight. And so when humans are looking at birds, they're looking at something that has a capability that they cannot even imitate. It's almost divine by its very nature. There's also an aspect of the celestial bodies being located in the same realm that these animals are operating in, or it's perceived that way by early humans. So in a way, these are creatures that are interacting with the gods. So whereas the serpent represents transformation of the individual and transformation without losing form, birds more so represent metaphysical transformation, passage, persistence and the aftermath, time and memory. The bird that I wanted to focus on in this video is the raven, and for good reason. It's also a creature that appears in multiple Genesis myths. The raven that flies from Noah's Ark and does not return. Yatagarasu of the Japanese. Odin's Munin and Hugnin. The raven that steals the sun in indigenous cultures. Imagine a world without a record, without history. There's nothing to take note of the passage of time. An animal walks through the forest, leaving a trail in the snow. It falls and dies. Does anything happen if nothing is there to observe it? Well, often there is an observer, and it is not human. It is the raven. It doesn't lead the animal to its demise. It doesn't kill it. It's just there for the aftermath. There for the consequence. It's always there, watching. The raven represents passive intelligence. It represents observation. It represents memory and the record of time. The raven's often a trickster. It's indifferent. It just is. I believe that the reason why the raven is so closely associated with early creation myths is that this idea of the passive observer, the recognizer of patterns, the follower of events, was necessary in the development of human consciousness. The raven is often associated with death, but it is so much more than that. It is continuity. It is remembrance. The raven is often a messenger. It transports information across time and space. Whereas the snake is of the world and constantly within it, trapped within it, forced to crawl upon its belly. The raven is above it all. It is impartial. It, like the snake, sees things for as it is, but it is not tied to the world like the snake is. For the raven understands the past and the future. With these two concepts, you are able to think of possibilities, of potentiality. You are able to plan. The raven lives both in the past and in the future. It has foresight and can adjust its trajectory accordingly. There's a reason why across cultures it has become a symbol for intelligence and persistence.
For millennia, human beings watched this black bird solve problems and seek out opportunity in every environment. There's a reason why birds are so prevalent in our symbology. They represent something above us, literally and figuratively. They exist in an untouchable plane. They are representatives of infinity and possibility.